Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Curse of Strahd. Let's go ahead and get right into this D&D intro, because I know everybody has been excited and waiting very much for this week. So, to start, we have our Team Heart, Nanaha, played by Lumi-chan. Nanaha is...
Probably gonna turn into a werewolf if things don't go well. She's a human monk who's now of the Shatter Persuasion.
Next we have Saya, who is very determined to not become a werewolf. Thank you very much. We have plans. Next we have Raz, played by Mazegis. Raz is...
a Shatterkai fighter barbarian who may or may not care about becoming a werewolf, especially if we have a cat in the party.
Speaking of said cat, played by Desiree, we have Pockets Full of Gold. Pocket is...
a Tabaxi Phantom, really questioning his life choices at this moment.
Next we have Team Mom Verity, played by the one and only Mr. Pounce. Verity is...
Yeah, go me. A tiefling sorcerer who's right in the boat with Saya about we have plans, so let's not become a were tiefling. How would that even work?
Same as it does for everybody else.
You're just a wolf with horns.
Next we have Lumberjack Jesus, and also soon to be the only holy man left in Barovia, Axel Sillison, played by Lennon Marks. Axel is...
a devotion paladin, and hopefully not future doggo.
And finally, last but definitely not least, our GM extraordinaire, Fluffy Snowfall, is here to take us back into Barovia. Fluffy, you are up.
Actually, Nevia, now that we've had our roll call, I have something for you. It is technically December, so I am allowed to give you your Christmas present.
Okay.
And I put it in your Discord. Well, in DMs.
How very cryptic.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
You're also allowed to show chat and use it as you will.
Yeah.
Hold on, chat. You guys want to see this? Oh no. Okay. I really appreciate that I'm 3.
Pounce decided who was who.
To be fair, I consulted with HPG, so...
Add source.
I'm not sure where I should be looking to find this information.
She'll put it
up on stream. I could have given it to her before stream so that she would have it ready, but I really wanted the moment captured on camera for posterity.
Now, if you were really on top of things, you would have clipped it so you could save it for all time.
HPG does that.
Alright, it is now up on stream.
Oh my god.
Well, then.
So for those of you who don't get it, on Tuesdays we watch Tokusatsu, and right now we're watching Super Sentai Tokyo. I'm sorry, I don't know the full title for it. The Sentai teams get really long. And this is their pose after they finish transforming.
Okay, that's really good.
I love how Verity looks like she's like, look, I have a hand.
She's number 6. She's making 6 with her hands. They're all making their number. Ugh.
And 6 is really awkward in the show too, like. Okay, I love it. And now I'm going to properly hand the reins over to Fluffy.
Yay! Merry Christmas, Nevia.
Thank you, Pouch. That's amazing.
You should thank Lumi. She drew it, but yeah.
Hey, Pounce commissioned it
It's
and
lovely.
told me who to put where with Hit People Guy.
You two are the best. You three are the best,
Alright.
because everybody needs in on that.
All right. Having completed their encounter within the rickety wizard's tower, sitting over Lake Baratok, the party encountered a roving group of werewolves who were interested in what the party may have found within. Some fighting occurred, with the alpha and a few surviving werewolves retreating for now. However, they left their mark physically and literally on the party, as they have all been inflicted with lycanthropy. Technically, Pocket was already a were-creature before this encounter, so that is the only reason why he's safe.
Yes.
In a bit of a panic, the group met a potential new ally in the Vistani warrior named Esmeralda de Avenir. She let them have some time to hang out in her wagon. They talked and potentially set themselves on the road to allyship with the monster hunter. They've been informed that there are approximately 3 days until the next full moon. And if they do not cure their condition before then, they will likely turn and go on a rampage. Hello, can you hear me?
You're staticky.
Yes.
We can hear you, yeah. There's a touch
Okay.
of static, but I'm not sure what's going on with that. Maybe your mic's not plugged in all the way?
Yeah, I don't know. It is, but regardless, I will poke. And now, having patched up, the party decides their next moves. They have been informed that there is a potential holy man in the Abbey of St. Markovia who could help them be cured of their affliction. Or they can try to take matters in their own hands. What would you all like to do?
Well, I thought that we were heading back to the winery and then we were going to head out towards the Flea Man in the morning. But I could be misremembering.
I think our plan was go back, pick up Irina, head to Kresk.
Because that's where the Abbey is, right?
Yes. Are you taking your new metal friend with you?
Yes.
Yes.
I
we told
we
them
ordered
to
him
keep
to
up with the
follow.
horses.
There's some piece of media I'm blanking, where there's just like a robot like running through the countryside for forever, just like bowling through stuff, and that's what I'm imagining the armor is.
That's pretty appropriate. Thankfully, at the time of day, you have enough time to get back to the winery. The wind blows through the trees, causing a strange whistling sound. But, as a blessing and a curse, it seems to mask the normal sounds of the Barovian countryside, making it a little easier to stomach. You make your way back to the winery. Irina is genuinely happy to see you come back, as are the Martikovs. A night's rest is offered, and you all are taken care of and offered places to sleep once again. Does anyone have any late night shenanigans, Pocket?
What? What? Well, Actually, I'll bring the chest to Saya and ask, hey, don't spray me. Can you? I don't know. You're good with magic. Can you like fix this so it is a functional chest?
She looks at him. No. I appreciate that you think I'm good at magic, but I'm not good at fixing things. Verity, though, I think, picked up a good fix-it spell.
Oh, well, anyway, I still have something for you, and I'll hand her the holy water. It's super special secret water. I had to venture up to the highest mountaintop to get it. It's super powerful stuff. Just, that's yours. And then I'll run off the chest to go to see Verity.
Thanks? She just kind of calls after him.
Congratulations, you have a flask of holy water.
I think that makes it my second flask of holy water, because you guys gave me a flask early on in the campaign, too.
I'm also pretty sure it's clearly identifiable as holy water, but he still lied about it anyway.
What is she doing with it all?
She's
Verity!
She's saving it all. She's saving it for a holy bath.
Verity!
She is in her room, deep in meditation, and is slightly annoyed by the. Yeah, that's yeah. Come in, Pocket.
Hi. So I have this chest, and it broke a little bit. I was wondering if you have any magic that could fix it.
Why do you need it fixed?
Because it's a cool chest.
What are you going to do with it?
Sit in it if I want to, but also we could put stuff in it. What else do you do with a chest?
Visibly frustrated with everything going on. It's Bring it here.
I'll drop it in front of Verity.
That's rude. All right. I'm assuming she just uses mending if she can to fix the chest.
That's the DM's call. I don't know if it was.
Yeah, well, the DM is currently trying to fix her microphone, so
You could use a couple of times of mending. That would be fine.
okay. Yeah, she's it takes a little work, to avoid turning the wood into rotted necrotic mush, but the spell goes the correct way, and she just kind of I don't know how mending works. I guess she just kind of draws her quill across the broken parts and puts it back there. Gives the lid a few test things to make sure it's working. Is that good enough?
Yeah, give Verity a hug. Thank you. Thanks. I'm gonna take the chest out.
She tries to shove him off. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Fuck it.
Okay.
Deep breath. Sorry. Don't touch me.
I mean, you're gonna be a dog soon anyway, and then I'll never touch you.
Verity bristles and she screams at him. No, I am not. And shoves him out the door and slams it behind him.
Saya's
That's all I got.
Saya's gonna pop her head out of her room at that.
Roz, you are able. She was yelling. It's not that hard of a DC.
I missed something.
Silence.
What? Sorry, what?
I was just saying y'all hear Verity yelling because yelling is not quiet.
Yeah, Saya pops her head out of her room. Pocket? Everything okay?
Already running off with my chest, all happy.
Just watches them go by, shakes her head. Not in a upset way, just, oh, that's Pocket.
He's just happy to be here.
You see Irina standing in the hallway, just... What was that about?
Oh, well, they're all going to be dogs soon, and that's pretty gross. So some of them are kind of upset about it. I'm really weirded out about it because I think that means they're going to try to kill me. I don't know, but I have this cool chest now, and I'm going to go put some stuff in it.
Alright, you keep doing you, Pocket.
See, you're sweet. I'll just go off.
She just heads back into her room. Saya, you hear her muttering, "It is best just not to ask sometimes."
Not gonna disagree with that. That being
All
said, Saya is gonna go knock on Verity's door.
Slightly more exasperated. Yes?
So Saya's just gonna step inside. So I'm not one for heart to hearts, but just so you know, we heard that yelling. If you want to talk, go ahead.
I'm trying to do just the very even stare. You know, she's put the Verity face back on.
Oh, and Saya's just giving her back the even, cold stare that Saya has.
Well, oh boy, they're just getting along great. That's fucking all right. That's wonderful. I will take your counsel under advice. Thank you.
Delightful. Have a good night, Verity.
Okay, well, if no one has anything else that they want to discuss...
Oh, go ahead, Raz.
Raz would have sought out Nanaha. Would you like to continue working on your new talents? I have some things that I've been trying to work as well, and I could use someone to help practice with.
I would greatly appreciate that. Wanders off with Raz to Spark.
It's all just RP reasons why we're actually going to be getting very similar effects at next level.
Fair. Axel, sounded like you had something?
Yes, so Axel is... I've got just like a little quick laundry list. So Axel is going to go to Davian just real quick and tell him about the armor, because I believe the plan was to leave the armor with the vineyards, like to help around them and stuff.
Yes.
So go find Davian, tell him, hey, there's a magical suit of armor standing outside. He answers to Kazan, and you can order him around to help clean up the farm or whatever.
I am not going to turn down such a strange offer, but thank you. It will be very helpful.
You're very welcome. I don't know how useful it would be traveling with us. Better to have it be somewhere where it gets some use. Thank you for your hospitality again. And Axel kind of not runs off, but he like moves off quicker than he usually does.
Okay, bye.
Axel just like throws up an arm, like waves behind him. And then goes to find Pocket, who I assume is still running around the house somewhere.
Yeah, you can find Pocket pretty easily.
Sure. So when I see him like running around with his chest or whatever, I just like grab him by an arm and like drag him into a room.
And here we go.
Hey, Pocket.
Yes.
Just sorry, this is I don't mean to be awkward, friend. Back in...
You've seen me naked. I'm pretty sure we're past the awkward phase.
That's fair. Back in Barovia city or village or whatever, there was I made a comment, and I meant it. If 3 nights from now something goes wrong, you know where that sword has to go.
In the sheath?
Second rib cage, or between second and third rib, left side of my chest. I trust you, Pocket.
So I'll skip the jokes and say that I'm gonna stick to my original plan and do as I would have wanted us to do for the pastor's son. I'd try to save you guys.
If you can, I would be genuinely thankful. But if it looks like it's me or anyone else, you know where that sword has to go.
I'll just save you guys instead.
I pull Pocket into like a big bear hug. You're a good friend, buddy.
You're one of the best friends I've ever had.
I'll let you go get some sleep. Good luck, man. And then Axel's just gonna go off to his room and study the amulet. Or the
All
holy
right,
symbol.
go ahead. Yeah, sounds good. Axel, please take a point of inspiration. That was very touching.
It really was.
Night comes. Saya, you once again get the same set of visions of the lake, the beach of the lake, a underwater cavern, and a pulling desire to go that way. Pocket. You sleep okay for the most part. You keep having these dreams, though, where you're in someone else's body. You see an individual in front of you, wounded, going through the actions of triage and surgery. You try to save them, but you see the light fading. Your dream self screams in agony as there's another patient lost. When you wake up in the morning, your paws are covered in blood. And you seem to understand a little bit more about medicine. Please mark down that as your proficiency for the day.
Done.
Okay.
So, given yesterday's actions, Axel's going to be up a little early, right before dawn, kind of banging on everybody's doors to wake them for dawn.
Verity is already awake. She is planning to be as meticulously precise at the exact dawniest dawn moment that ever dawned to drink the thing.
Nanaha is a burrito near the hearth. Gonna have to rouse her.
Saya is meditating in her room. Mogget is sitting on her shoulder, also in a meditative pose.
Dawn.
So after the first round of knocking, if everyone hasn't, if Nanaha and Saya are the only ones still not gathered, Axel will go like you'll really get into the door. Saya, it's almost dawn, and then go shake Nanaha awake.
What?
It's almost dawn. We need to take those potions.
Cheers.
Lumi, your mic is very, very muffled right now.
Sorry, does this sound better?
No.
No, you might be you might not be set to the right mic in Discord.
Oh, don't tell me it's switched over. Sorry, I'll fix this.
Discord will always switch over at the worst possible moment.
Well, she's fixing that. Fluffy.
Yes.
Roz never retrieved the Strahd puppet after beating it up in the woods at Esmeralda's.
Yes.
Does Pocket still have it?
I don't know. He'd have to check.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Master
Oh,
of
God.
Rem.
Well, after the blood dream, I'd just find someplace separate to, like, wash off my hands and freak out a little bit, but start determining that this might be the new norm. Also considering that my friends are werewolves and we need to deal with that. Also, I have no reason to check right now, but I'll start wandering with everybody else to watch the show. The
All
Dawn
right.
Drink Show.
Yep. I assume everyone is gathered and you all take the potions.
Here's to being us.
Saya's gonna down hers. So we can we get a move on? I have some business I need to take care of near Valaki soon.
Are we going to Kresk or Valaki?
Kresk first. I'd much rather this not be a permanent situation.
Agreed. We should get Irina and make sure she's ready to go.
Did we all take our potions?
Yes.
Sorry, things got a little scattered on my end.
Sounds much better.
Oh, thank goodness.
Irina is ready as well. She was actually up with the rest of you. Has just been waiting patiently to get a move on.
Early morning today, Irina. Sorry to get you moving.
It's fine. I've been getting up pretty early to help with the vineyard, so not that unused to it by now.
Excellent. We should just say goodbye to our hosts. They've been very kind, and then we will make for Kresk, hopefully in good time.
Sounds good.
And Axel will just go off and, like, obviously speak to Davian, but just kind of thank and talk to, for just like a brief second, like any of the Martikovs or the hands that are around that helped us. Not like being like scouring everywhere, just like everyone he sees on the way to talk to Davian and kind of everyone on the way back.
Sure. Y'all have your pleasantries, and they wish you well on your journeys and indicate you're always welcome back.
Oh, so can we tell, hold on. Oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? The dude that, Erwin, there we go. Can we tell Erwin that, he can come back?
I thought Davian did
I've
give us a
already-
message.
I've already had that conversation with my son, yes.
Oh good, I really like him, he's really cool.
Well, it's thanks to him that the vineyard still stands, because he sent you. So I guess I would have to agree, my son can be cool at times.
Hey.
Okay, boomer.
I'll be back to say hi at some point, because I can do that, I think.
Nothing's stopping you. As much as I'm a fan of Barovian goodbyes, we should probably get on the road.
Yes, agreed.
Agreed. And then Axel will whistle loudly. Alexander!
The undead skeletal leathery elk manifests, snorts, and lowers its head.
Alright, Axel hops up and kind of brings him around to Kresk.
Alright. It's a bit chilly. The filtered light has not fully broken through the clouds at this point. But you make your way, following the trail back to the old Svalich Road. Things seem to be relatively calm and genuinely nothing seems to happen.
Is Pocket in the wagon?
I don't know, is Pocket?
Yeah, might as well be.
So I guess while we're riding in the wagon, Verity will kind of just like, not like, I mean, it's close enough that she could just talk to him without like having to get over it. She's, cause Pocket, I apologize for raising my voice with you yesterday. Just until we get this whole lycanthropy business settled, please don't touch me. It's not safe for you. I didn't mean to shout. I was just... Please.
So what Verity's trying to say is her bark is worse than her bite.
Saya snickers.
I like him.
Oh, sorry, I did the gesture. I realized you couldn't see me. She does the thing like she pinches the bridge on her nose, like the thing you do when you could feel a huge headache coming on. But doesn't answer.
Well, if you're saying that I can hug you after you're cured, then this is awesome.
Everything in moderation, Pocket, but I suppose that would be more acceptable if you need to hug me for some reason. I don't know.
Then I'm sorry for hugging you before, but I'm not sorry for the hugs that will happen in the future.
So, Pocket, did you really think I was a tiefling?
Well, they're the only race that I know that has different colored skin.
Saya's just going to blink at him, look over at Raz, look back at
he's
Pocket.
He's super pale. That doesn't really count. Because there are elves that have like really, really pale skin and some that have like really dark skin, and then humans are just all over the spectrum.
Okay, well...
It's true, the elf ears do kind of give it away.
I mean, I kind of assumed these would make it clear I wasn't a tiefling, pointing at her own ears, which are fins.
I just thought tieflings had different kinds of features. I don't know.
It is true, tieflings come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Well, now that you are aware, there's another race called Ganassi. We also come in 4 different colors.
Well, nice to meet you.
I find it best to just not refer to someone by a race, lest you be called racist, and just treat people on an individual hatred bias.
I mean, that's fair. I don't really hate anyone. All the new races are interesting to me. And it may be painfully obvious that Pocket is now staring at Saya's natural features a lot more. What are they, like fins, or I don't know what they are.
They're her ears, and like they do look like fins. But
Yep, awkward staring at him.
To break up that awkward silence, Roz will go... Roof!
I'm gonna ride with Minadora.
driving this wagon?
I am.
assume
I always
Nana.
am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the one that knows how to drive. I have my permit and everything.
Someone will sit up front with Nana while we go on.
All right. Continuing onward. You reach at the crossroads, begin taking the path to the west. You see the rumbling tower where you were just the previous day. You see you see a cliffside off in the distance. You seem to be heading in the right direction. Piercing through the tree line and the fog is a stately-looking mansion. Its sharp lines and welcoming construction are a stark contrast to the crumbling structures and sagging roofs that you have become accustomed to. Several plumes of smoke rise above the manor, twisting like snakes above the trees.
Note to self, stop back there once we're no longer werewolves.
There's a monster in the basement.
There's a monster in every basement. It's Barovia. That's the care package that you get when you move in, I think.
Finally, someone else believes me,
It's not
or
that
at
we
least
didn't-
agrees.
It's not that we didn't believe you, Pocket, so much as we didn't feel it needed to be stated regularly.
Something to note, this building is in the best shape out of anything you've seen in the valley.
Irina, you're our local informant here. Do you know who owns that surprisingly well-maintained looking estate?
She looks at it. I think that is the manor belonging to Lord Vasily von Holtz. I don't interact with them much, but I remember Father saying that they were a long line of textile merchants and, well, tend to be one of the only surviving nobility in the valley. I've never really interacted much with the Lord, I believe. Yeah, Vasily is the only remaining von Holtz these days.
Wait. Who told us? Who has a good memory? Didn't someone say that was the name Strahd was using for himself to talk to the coffin maker?
Yeah, I think it was actually.
That's so many episodes ago.
Yes, you're right.
Sorry, I take a lot of notes.
That is who Henrik was talking about.
So Strahd knows this person, or at least dislikes this person enough to pretend to be them. I don't want to go in there.
Well, it's not currently on our plans anyway, so.
All right. Continuing onward then, you leave the stately manor behind. You make your way to the village of Kresk. The closer you get, you see a large wooden and stone wall surrounding the village. At this point, you can't even really see inside. The walls stretch up about a good 20 feet. And, excuse me, the road begins to branch north and climbs a rocky escarpment, ending at a gatehouse built into a 20-foot high wall of stone. reinforced with buttresses every 50 feet or so. The wall encloses a settlement on the side of a snow-dusted mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you see the tops of snow-covered pines and thin wisps of white smoke. The somber toll of a bell comes from a stone abbey that clings to the mountainside, high above the settlement. The steady chime is inviting, a welcome change from the deathly silence and oppressive fog to which you have grown accustomed. It is hard to tell at this distance, but there seems to be a switchback road clinging to the cliffs that lead up from the walled settlement into the abbey. The road itself continues on past where you're going. You reach the gates of the village. You see the road going off before being swallowed by the thick gray fog. As you head up the switchback, the air grows colder as you approach the walled settlement. 2 square towers with peaked roofs flank a stone archway, into which is set a pair of 12-foot-tall, iron-bound wooden doors. Carved into the arch above the door is a name, Kresk. The walls that extend from the gatehouse are 20 feet high. Atop the parapet, you see 4 figures wearing fur hats and clutching spears. They watch you nervously.
Shall I call out to them?
Just remember, be kind. Itchy, itchy, itchy.
I can at least be polite. Saya will climb down from the caravan and present herself at the gates. Hail, I am Saya Winterheart. We come from the Wizards of Wine winery.
You see on one of the ramparts there is a humanoid shape. You see their faces furred, kind of coming to a little bit of a muzzle. Large cat ears poking out of the furred hat. You said your names are what now?
I am Saya Winterheart. My companions are Pocket, Raz, Verity, Axel, and Nanaha. We also have our employer with us, although I'd rather not state her name out loud.
The tabaxi man is just taking you in. You hear some talking up on the ramparts. We are going to have to get the burgomaster, get his approval. No one goes in or out without his say.
Very well. Davian Martikov informed us that he sent ahead a notice that we were coming with the last shipment from the Wizards of Wine.
Turns. Inrik, go get the burgomaster. Yes, guard captain. You see a figure dart off.
She's really good at that.
Y'all have kind of like a momentary just feeling of awkwardness as you sit outside the wall. The one guard that ran off, it's about 20 minutes before they return. You see a stout-looking human man, very dark, tanned, leathery skin. Gray, rough beard frames his face. He's wearing a long coat of kind of bluish and silver. He looks over. You all are the envoys from the Wizards of Wine that we were told would be arriving, yes?
Saya curtsies. We are, sir.
Then it is my responsibility as burgomaster to show hospitality to those who have shown hospitality to us. You will need to come inside. And please, I beg of you, no trouble will be had, yes?
We have no intention of causing trouble here.
Alright. I will meet
Inside
you
the
on
cart.
I will meet you on the other side of the gate when you arrive.
Saya curtsies again.
Thank you, Saya. Drives the cart in.
Waiting on the other side, you see the man a little on the shorter side for a human, but his presence defies his stature. He looks at you. All right, what is your purpose in my village?
To be honest, sir, we came to visit the Abbey and also to hopefully find safe lodging for our employer, Irina Kolyanovich.
Hi, I'm Irina. He looks over. I am vaguely familiar with you, young one. I met your father many years ago. As you all look in, you see that this mist-shrouded village beyond the wall is nothing more than a scattering of humble wooded cottages along dirt roads that stretch between strands of snow-dusted pine trees. Many, many trees, in fact, as to almost constitute a forest. To the northeast, grey cliffs rise sharply, and the road winding up to the abbey is easy to see from this village. You hear the sounds of clucking of hens. You see a few pigs snorting into the dirt. And you all hear the braying of mules and, off in the distance, a low guttural moo as you spot a few cows behind a wooden gate.
Does Pocket
See.
actually make that gasp out loud?
Yes.
Pocket, if you move, I will freeze your feet to the ground.
I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. Axel, they have cows.
Keep it together. We'll deal with that later.
What do you mean, deal with it? They are cows.
I am standing right here. The livestock is for the village.
I think what's going on is he wants to buy milk.
Yes, he is a large fan of milk, and this is the first place we have seen that can have quite literally fresh milk.
Your coin is not good here. And you all look around and you see various people. Surprisingly, this is actually the most diverse group you've seen in the entirety of the valley. You see elves, halflings, dwarves, a few tieflings, a tabaxi or two, some Goliath. There are humans.
Continue, sorry.
I was going to say there are humans mixed amongst the ranks as well. But you have not seen the likes of these types of individuals anywhere in the valley.
Then, considering the standard fare for travel for Pocket was to pull the hood up, we'll actually take the hood down and make it clear that he's like a tabaxi. Which I assume just gets no response because it's probably normal.
No, not at all.
I'm sorry, do you have a different currency here?
No. If you wish to partake in goods, typically it is exchanged for labor or performing chores.
I can do that.
Saya smiles. That makes complete sense.
There is not. If you are looking for an inn, you will be most disappointed. There are. There is an abandoned shack that I could potentially work for housing your friend, if she so desires. But for the time being, if you wish to find lodging for the night, the best bet would be at my cottage. However, I would ask that you do some work around the village to basically get supplies for the evening. And he looks. I am Burgomaster Dmitri Kreskov. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance as travelers.
I am Nanaha. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. Curtsies.
Axel takes a little, or does a little bow as way of greeting. Axel Sillison, sir, at your service.
And I'm the hero, Pocket.
All right.
He's a good guy, I promise. He's just imaginative.
That is fine. There is no danger in imagination, as long as you follow the rules.
We would be happy to work for our lodging for the evening. Is there a possibility we could visit the Abbey today?
I will not stop you. However, come, follow me to my cottage. You may drop off any supplies, and we will see about some sort of stable for your horse.
Thank you.
Regarding stabling, is there... I can understand if Alexander here might spook your horses, but is there somewhere where he could be lodged? He doesn't need to eat or anything, he just needs somewhere to be.
For the record, everybody has been eyeing up Alexander very cautiously. And you can actually see at this point, as you mentioned, there is a crossbow latched to Dimitri's back that he is nervously reaching for when you point out your undead elk.
He means no harm. There's something about the valley that is filtering my divinity. This should be a normal elk, or a spirit of one.
You will need to keep it hidden.
Understood.
We do not have stables here, as we have no need for horses, as we never leave our enclosure. But there is a family who recently lost their cattle. We could perhaps keep them in the fenced off area that they used for their herd. It would
If
be
no one ever leaves, how does one lose cattle?
I assume they died, Roz.
That is correct. They died. There was a illness that befell them, and as was customary, the cattle had to be put down to avoid spreading to the other livestock.
This is very common in small villages.
Yes,
You-
it is. A lot of
you will need to-
oftentimes, the entire livestock population will be called to prevent infection from spreading.
You will need to keep your eclectic animal covered, if at all possible, as it would be difficult to keep it fully hidden from view.
Is there the semi-related to that, the path up to the Abbey, would that even suit a mount, or does that need to be done by foot?
That would need to be done by foot. The road up to the Abbey is very narrow, and it looks to only be used for foot traffic.
Okay. Very well. Then Axel hops off of Alexander, kind of pats him on the side and whistles, and he flashes out of existence.
Okay. Poof.
That's
You are
handy.
You are able to get Minadora into the cattle enclosure. You hear talk. There's a young elven girl. That is a very strange-looking cow.
I wouldn't suggest trying to milk her. She's not a cow, she's a horse.
She's a beautiful horse.
She is a very good girl, and she pats the snout of Minadora.
She just blinks at it. That is a horse. Wow.
She's really big for a horse, too. Most aren't this big.
Oh, that is my mama calling. You hear kind of a shouting in the distance. I better go. Bye, strange people.
Bye.
Bye, little girl.
Bye, horse. Bye, horse who is not a cow.
Okay, this is the first town we've been to where the people are nice. I like this place.
Literacy rate here must be atrocious.
If they're nice, they're hiding something.
Or maybe they're just nice.
Or maybe they are living in an enclosed space and need to get along to work.
All right. Dimitri is leading you back to where his cottage is. If you want to put down your items. Inside, you see kind of an older woman. She's got a very built figure, dark skin, very curled, fraying hairs. If you want a image, I have shared a handout of Dimitri and his wife, Anna.
She looks like she could crush some monsters.
Wait, I don't see her.
Under Baron Kreskov and Baroness Kreskova. Scroll
yes.
all the way down. There you go.
Oh, hell yeah! I was wondering what you mean when you said built. That's dope.
Anna, please, we will need to prepare the beds for tonight. We have company. You see, she kind of sticks her head out of one of the small windows in the cottage. What do you mean company, Dimitri? And she sees the group. Ah, yes. My apologies. We'll set up some beds for you. Around the cottage, you see there are some variety of chicken coops built around the cottage. There's a set of pigs that are keenly aware of your presence. So, you said you have questions, yes?
Yeah, what can you tell us about the abbot, if that's okay?
We do not go to the abbey. That is a cursed place. It used to be a hospital. Many of the clergy there fell prey to Strahd. And over a century ago, from the records, this abbot arrived. He periodically makes his way down to visit the pond at the other side of the village, but he keeps to himself. He has not aged a day since his arrival, from what everyone has said. He periodically demands tribute in the form of wine. We give it to him to prevent trouble.
The pond? Is there anything wrong with it?
No, it is It is a place of importance to the village. It is a source of fresh water. It is a... There is a shrine, an old shrine there.
So
That is
wait,
all.
you give this guy wine and he doesn't cause trouble. Has he caused trouble before, or what kind of trouble can he cause?
I personally do not know, but for a man who has not aged in over a century, it is hard to think that he is human in the traditional sense.
I like the way you think.
There is also no one but the abbot visits. However, there is the abbey bell ringing at odd times, and there are periodic sounds of laughter and screaming. Of what from, I do not know. As I said, we do not trust him, but we avoid him. It is more important that the village remains safe.
So if we visit him and have to defend ourselves, will we be thrown out for doing so?
As long as your actions do not lead to ramifications for the village, no, there will be no trouble from us.
Well, we have no desire to cause the village any trouble, so we certainly would do everything in our power to avoid that.
That would be good.
What sort of tasks would you like us to complete for our lodging this evening?
Well, let me check in with Anna. She will know better. He goes inside the cottage. His wife comes out. All right, what are you all capable of doing?
I'm really good with animals.
All right, then you. We will need the eggs from the chickens. You can handle that, yes?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm great with
All right.
water.
Then could you please go, and she hands several buckets. Could you go fetch water from the pond?
Sure. Doesn't mention she could just make it for them, but
I am a bit dexterous. If you need someone very fast, that's me. Other than that, and I'll look at my hands that were previously bloodied this morning. I think I'm pretty okay with, checking on the health of people and things.
If that is good, actually. There is a woman in the town that she is due to be giving birth any time now. We do not have any trained physicians at the time, as our last one passed away about a month ago of old age, and his apprentice is still not confident enough to take care of that. Do you think you could go help her with her labor?
I'm also good with medicine.
Totally can do that.
I'll help
All right.
park it if that's okay. I'm also good with medicine.
All right, fine. You can do that. What about you? The tall one, and he looks, the tall and grumpy one. She looks over to Roz.
Well, I'm good at reading. He kind of hides his spear kind of a little bit. And I'm a fairly learned individual, much to the surprise of many. I am fairly robust and strong if you need manual labor, but I generally prefer more of an intellectual sort.
Well, we really don't have anything scholarly that needs tending to tonight. Have
Well,
you
then
ever
I'll be-
butchered a pig before?
I've made people squeal like a stuck pig.
That will do. if you would like to help me, we have I have a rather large pig that we can break down and roast for tonight. I will need some help with the cooking if you are willing to do so.
I'll be more than happy to help you kill a pig.
All right, that would be good. And then she looks to Axel. You, what can you do?
Well, I was trained as a guard. I am a holy man of sorts if you need any rites done. Otherwise, I'm fairly good at manual labor too.
I wonder if the woman giving birth might appreciate some divine healing. I'm sure it can't hurt.
I mean, while it is a very good thought, sending 3 of you for the one task is a bit of a waste of resources, if you don't mind.
I think
Axel's-
between Nanaha and me, I think we can do it.
Otherwise, I can still collect eggs, and once she starts going, Pocket can run and get me. He's super fast.
All right. Then I will allow it, as long as you still collect the eggs. Otherwise, we have firewood that we need collected for the night's fire.
Sure. Is there a particular grove that you need chopped, or is there just logs that need to be split? Just point me where you need me.
Logs to be split.
I'm gonna need some of those logs for a fire to heat water. So maybe pile on a few extra for that birth.
All right, lumberjack Jesus.
Sure. Yeah, Pocket, come with me for a minute. I'll give you the first couple loads, and then we'll get the rest going for the dinner.
And
All
I'll help Pocket set up whenever that starts. Then I'll go run and get chicken eggs, and then I'll come back as soon as things get going.
All right. I will need everyone to roll me some skill checks. First off, Nanaha, could you roll me an animal handling, please?
Oh no.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Wow, first roll.
Hey, I'd rather
Like a-
that chickens than being on the human. I think I'm going to get pecked.
Okay, Nanaha, you are able to do so. However, you do break several eggs, as the chickens are very skittish around the newcomer. You are able to collect what Anna wanted. However, you are very exhausted after having to do this, having to fight the chickens, collect the eggs, and you have a point of exhaustion and take 1 point of slashing damage.
Where do you list point of exhaustion?
Just something that you need to be aware of. There isn't a point to mark on the sheet, but you have disadvantage on ability checks until you get a sleep.
Well, frick.
That just means skill checks, initiative.
Yeah,
Attacks
I'm
are
supposed to be
still
helping with the
normal.
kid. I'm supposed to be helping
know.
with Pocket.
Yep.
Yep,
You
but
are.
I think, yeah, well, we'll get there.
Axel, could you roll me a survival?
Any bonus from the fancy axe?
Yeah, I will say you can roll an advantage.
Okay.
You are able to make short work of the firewood with the fancy axe, and you are able to chop up the wood needed and get it to Pocket and make your way to the cottage well within the time you'd be needed.
Excellent.
Pounce, I apologize, I forgot Verity. What would she like to do for Labor.
She's literally useless because she's a scholar.
Mending. You could say you could mend things.
Well, I guess.
For all them crazy Arcana check.
Yeah. There would be work fixing things if you say you can fix stuff. There's clothing that needs mending. There are some tools that need repair.
She will do her
You
best.
can do that if you'd like. No roll required because mending will just work.
Oh, phew.
Roz, could you roll me an intelligence check, please? Despite not really working in a butchery, you are well able to figure it out. You break down the pig, and you actually are able to help put together the night's dinner very well. You living on your own, you've picked up a lot of techniques in the kitchen, and you are able to do a fantastic job. Anna is actually very impressed with your help, and jokingly says if you want, she will not say no to if you ever want to stay here long term.
I appreciate the offer. I will keep that under advisement. This seems like a lovely place, but I am trying to get home, which was outside of the valley.
I understand, but if that is not feasible any longer, you are welcome here. Roz, while you've been helping in the house, there's something that you notice. They have prepped beds for everybody. However, it doesn't look out of place. It looks like this cottage normally has that many beds, but you've only seen the two Burgomaster and his wife, so you've really only seen the Baron and the Baroness, despite having beds for an additional 6. No, sorry, 7.
How many folks should we be preparing dinner for?
Just your group, my husband and myself.
Your kids won't be joining us?
You pick up that her expression sours a little bit when you mention that. No, they will not be joining.
I saw you had so many rooms. I assumed there was family.
It is fine. We had children, but they all died of illnesses over the years, and our youngest, our son Ilya, passed away just recently this week.
You have my condolences on your loss. I'm sorry. It's never good when a parent outlives their child.
It is, but our duty to the village comes first. But thank you. I appreciate your sentiments. Yes, it was just the fates were not on our side, so what can we do?
Could you not take them up to the Abbey and see if about being healed? That's why we're here.
The abbot is a very strange individual. My husband probably informed you. It is not wise to necessarily trust him. There are dark things that happen at that abbey, and we do not want to risk our children's souls if it heals their body.
Oh, it's that kind of creepiness.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I understand a bit better now. I know religious folk can be a bit crazy, believe in different things, and people come in to help them for the sheer kicks and giggles of it. But corruption of such things, I can understand now why you'd not want. Sometimes it's better to have loved ones die than to have them in perpetual torture for the rest of their, the rest of their soul's life.
I appreciate that. Not many people from beyond the walls would understand. So thank you. Your words are important to me, friend.
No problem. I'm a worshipper of the Raven Queen, and so I understand a bit about the passing between life and death. And I hear the calling of my ancestors. It would be very distressing to be cut off from them due to the actions of another.
And she nods. At about that point, Roz, you hear, kind of off in the distance, and then it kind of devolves into a screaming.
The spear is out and looking around.
That is from the Abbey. That is why we do not go.
That loud, that far away. Well then.
Yes. All right, Saya, are you gonna go to the pond, or are you just gonna fill it up yourself?
No, actually, I want to take a look at the pond, so I am going to go to the pond.
Are they making Irina do anything for her place as well, or is she getting away with things because she's the burgomaster's daughter?
No, she's they're having her cut down a tree.
Hopefully not alone.
No, but they're having her cut down and break down some trees to be set aside for drying for more firewood. Something you're seeing here is everybody is working. Like, the whole village is more or less like a commune, with everyone working basically together to keep the village going. And while you notice that the burgomaster has a larger cabin or cottage than most people, it's not drastically so. So it's basically like everyone is living in a studio apartment, and the burgomaster has a one-bedroom.
Reminds me of home.
Saya, you make your way towards the pool, and even under graying skies, the pool at the northern end of the village shimmers and sparkles. Near its shore sits an old gazebo on the verge of collapsing. A wooden statue of a mournful, bare-chested man stand next to it, its paint chipped and faded, standing near the gazebo with arms outstretched as though waiting to be embraced. The pond itself is very crystal clear, and it glimmers and sparkles like it were a bright sunny day.
Well, that's interesting. She's going to fill a bucket and then take a taste of the water.
Okay. You take a drink, and I'd like you to roll 1d6. You gain 2 temporary hit points.
Ooh, no wonder they really like this pond.
The water is very refreshing and invigorating.
going to file this all away as this is odd, but at the same time, very interesting.
All right. Pocket and Nanaha and Axel.
Here we go.
Yes.
You make your way to a very small cottage. Dmitri leads you to the cottage of Demiria Yolensky, and there is a local midwife trying to help at the moment. After being informed that you both are trained physicians,
Well, that's generous, but we'll go with that.
I actually am trained.
We can do this,
I mean,
assistant.
Pocket is also trained.
Just not as much, but yeah.
The midwife introduces herself as Cretania. All right, well, she has been going into labor, and there have been a few complications with the birthing. So, would the two of you please help coax her through this? We are going to need all the help we can get.
Absolutely. How prepared are you to give birth?
As prepared as we can be.
Plenty of towels, plenty of firewood to get hot water, etc.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do this.
Onward.
So as they get in position, I'm gonna be up by like the woman's head, just like trying to comfort her and stuff. But
Sure.
as they're starting, I'm gonna say a little prayer over this. Morning Lord, please bless this birth, bless this woman, and all that. And I'm going to cast bless on the woman and then the two doctors.
Okay, sounds good. Roll a religion check with advantage. All right. She certainly, Demiria is certainly a bit better. The screaming, she's definitely in pain, but she grips your hand. A bit of comfort as you give her your blessing. All right. Who wants to be head doctor and who wants to be nurse?
I'm gonna
Normally, I'd say I've got +6, but I'm at disadvantage because I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
but
I'm
does Bless
gonna.
nuke that out?
No, bless will give you a D4.
Okay.
But so basically what I can do is whoever's going to be the head doctor can roll, and the assistant can grant them advantage. So in Lumi's case, it would negate the disadvantage.
I'm gonna steal the head doctor, so I'll actually have advantage, and then the D4.
Exactly. So Pocket's at advantage.
Okay.
Gonna close my eyes for a second and think back on that dream. Kind of whisper to myself, okay, we're not gonna let this one die.
Okay, Dr.
God, I hope none of us heard that.
Okay, Dr. Pocket. Go ahead and roll medicine at advantage with a D4.
$21.
All right. It takes about a couple hours, but you are able to get the baby out, cleaned, dressed. Something you notice when you slap the baby to try and make it cry to see if it's breathing. The baby just doesn't cry. It's breathing. Its eyes are open. It looks right at you.
Do the old tabaxi check, count all the fingers and toes, check pulse, regular heartbeat, look for any abnormalities, if the baby checks out, we'll take the placenta and wrap that up in a hot towel and say, I don't know if you want to eat this. Tabaxi moms do. It gives them, some extra energy. If you want to keep it, you can keep it. Otherwise,
She respectfully declines. The midwife kind of looks at the baby, and she seems a bit troubled.
I won't assume her emotions, but I will clean the baby. Once the baby's cleaned, wrap the baby up and hand the baby to the mother.
She is cradling the baby. And, she weakly thanks everyone. The baby's still not crying.
Instead of directly addressing it, I'll ask the mother, are you all right?
I'll be fine, thank you. I appreciate your assistances, both of you, and thank you, holy man.
You're very welcome. May you and your is the child a boy or a girl?
A boy.
May you and your son have a blessed time.
What is your name?
Axel, ma'am.
Then I will name him Axel.
You're too kind. May it serve him well.
Oh.
You all exit the small cottage. Kretiana comes up to the three of you. Thank you for your assistance. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. But is it normal for babies not to cry? I was kind of prepared for that.
No, the babies should cry, but it means that this one does not have a soul. That is very sad to hear.
What do you mean it doesn't have a soul?
Axel will echo that. Like, what do you mean it doesn't have a soul?
My mother taught me at a very young age that newborns do not have a soul if they do not cry. There are many people in this valley who do not have souls.
What? I mean, so I guess I'm going to ask a really religious question that maybe people have been searching for all their lives, but what determines if you get a soul?
I do not know, but between us is confidence. I believe that most Barovians don't have souls. If you look around the village here, there are people who show no joy, show no sorrow. They just are. I'm sure you have met others like that in the past, yes?
Too many. I assumed it was just that because this place keeps you all trapped here, everyone was just miserable, but maybe it's more than that.
That is probably part of it, but that is just what I have been led to believe, and seems to be that there are reasons to believe it. But if he brings Demira joy, then it is not a total waste, but it is a shame. It is such a waste.
I don't know if I can pass insight check, but did Demiria look like she understood what happened?
You can roll an insight.
Sorry, it's not an advantage, so 10.
She didn't seem to pick up that something was off.
Okay. Axel, this place is weird. I mean, this entire, like, everything we've experienced since we arrived in this land is weird.
Well, I agree. How often have we woken up somewhere we didn't go to sleep? I think that kind of set the stage for us.
Well, there's that one time at that one tavern.
Okay, we don't talk about that one though.
Oh, okay.
At about this point, you and Saya off at the pool, and Verity, you all hear that laughter from before, off in the distance coming from the Abbey.
That's where we're going, isn't it, Pocket?
Pocket's got a dead stare in that direction. Hair is all of his fur is standing up.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
Tretiana doesn't seem phased. So it's that time of the afternoon already, huh?
This is a daily occurrence?
Yes. That is why we do not go there.
And we have to go there, really?
Well,
Yep.
I suppose we don't have to, but the alternative is not great either.
Well, maybe you could just be a good dog, like I'm a good bird.
Seems unlikely.
Thankfully at this point, Tretiana has bid herself farewell before you talked about one of you being a werewolf.
Or a were-raven, because I don't think they'd like either.
Probably not.
And none of us have modified memory.
It's okay. We modify memories with weapons. Anyway, so after the baby's born and we walked up with her, I do want to go back in, check on the mother, make sure she's not strangling the baby, clean up a bit, and then because I've been using these candles for death and life, I will burn another candle or light another candle and like put it in the window or something.
Very nice. She is not strangling the baby. The baby is still not crying. But it does seem aware of its surroundings in a baby fashion. She is rightfully tired, but happy to see you. And she is still holding her son.
Well, I guess before leaving, I will ask her, do you need a moment to rest? We can look after the baby.
I will be all right. My husband should be home soon from tending to the cattle. He will be here to help. You have done plenty.
All right. Have fun. Enjoy the new life. Speaking of cattle, I'm going to run off and try to go find if I can get milk yet. And probably some hay for Minadora.
Yeah, you can get some milk and some hay. You helped out in the village, so you get to partake.
Then, as my last aside, I will drink my milk with Minadora, and kind of like lean back. You know, whew, had a hard day of work, Minadora. This is for us. Yeah, she knows.
She
I'm
munches
bullshitting.
on the hay. She munches on the hay. So by the time you all convene, it is kind of early afternoon. Dimitri and Anna say that dinner will be ready by the evening. You are free to do what you would like as long as, you don't cause any trouble in the village.
All right, time to go visit Captain Creepy Man.
Irina kind of comes up, do you want me to come with? Do you want me to hold back? What would you like me to do?
This feels like an a dangerously unknown situation. I think it's probably safest if you stay here.
All right.
I was gonna say the opposite because there are so many unknowns here that she'd be with us or inside of us.
If nothing else, she does have a somewhat local's perspective. She could help us talk to people.
Do we know where she was supposed to be going in this village for safety?
Just living here, I thought.
They said, yes, the plan was to be living here. It is walled off. It is going to be much harder for anything to really make its way in through the walls. Physically, it is very safe.
I suppose this comes down to whether or not we trust the village.
They're too nice. I don't trust them.
Their water is interesting. Certainly not harmful. Definitely very helpful. Honestly, if I may recall, bring all of your attention to our reading, I don't trust the Abbey.
Right now, I am afraid of being invaded by fleas, so I at least want to talk to the Abbey.
I don't disagree. I don't trust taking Irina up there. But I will not stop her if she chooses to come, and I will not stop any of you if you choose to bring her.
What part of our reading are you referring to?
The last part of the reading, speaking of our enemy as a creature of darkness, he lurks in the darkness where the morning light once shone, a sacred place. Now I know that's cryptic, but how many sacred places have we found here other than this abbey? And up on the mountain and it used to be a hospital. Like, I don't know. It seems like it could be pointing to an encounter there.
I mean, let's be honest here. Pretty much every sacred place we've gone to now lurks in darkness.
Right.
Got a point there.
That's certainly
Two
true.
churches both had deaths in them.
Wasn't...
That's fair. This seems...
What was the church in Valaki? What did he worship? What did they worship there?
They worshipped the Morning Lord.
So,
Ah.
I mean, the village in Valaki worshipped the Morning Lord, and I'm pretty sure the morning light don't shine there no more.
Yes, that is certainly true. I don't know, just the of all the places that we've been to, the two churches didn't. I mean, they're churches, but they weren't sacred. But this place very well could be, if you follow.
Okay, fine. I don't know much about these folk, but I at least would feel better if she was with us because I trust our abilities more than I could trust any of these people.
That is a
Verity,
great point.
Verity, I haven't heard anything from you. What do you think?
She has got she's just miles away with her stare. She hears her name. She's like, what?
Should Irina come or stay?
Did anyone ask what she wants to do?
She asked us what she wants her to do.
Right now, I've spent more time with the six of you than I have with everyone else here. I trust your judgment, and whatever you decide, I will go with.
So I think it comes down to this. If we're supposed to be her bodyguards, we're determining which place is safer for her, with us or here in this village. If we know that we were supposed to deliver her to this village and she's supposed to be here, I think we're supposed to trust that this is the end of our job. So maybe Saya is right, and she stays.
Didn't Dimitri say that Strahd had already killed a bunch of the people at the Abbey? So it's very clear he can get in here as well.
Trying so hard to not
I
have
mean-
I
him
just
in a
assume he can get
permanent way.
anywhere.
That is true. He can be basically anywhere that he wants, but he still needs to be invited to come into a building.
I wonder if you can really get in here because it's a big wall around it. It's kind of like a real big building, maybe?
I don't
Mark?
I don't know how it works, but I at least know that the wolves and the reanimated bodies could make their way in like they did back in Barovia.
And I'm not sure how long the invitations last for, but if you recall, Verity, he was able to come into the top of the coffin maker's shop when it was just the two of us. So, I mean, who's to say he hasn't been invited to all of these houses decades ago, and that still stands?
Yes, well, if we're going to play the speculation game about all possible outcomes for what could have happened in the past years, we will be here until all of us die of old age, Arena included.
Well, then I think we take a vote. I think she should stay with us. She's safer with us than anybody else.
I agree with Raz. I think as much as we might be walking into a mess, and we're certainly going to be walking into a mess, it sounds like we're certainly the most capable of defending her of anyone in the city, I'm sure. Although the burgomaster and his wife look like they can handle their own too.
While I agree with Saya in that we leave her here because, well, I agree with her in that, and the reason I do is because the job was to bring her here, and she lives here now. I want to leave her alone just to, mingle with the people, but at this moment, while we're still here, I consider the job still on, and I think she should be with us, so I vote she comes with us.
For me, it's not a job. She's a friend, and I like having her around, I'll admit.
That is very sweet of you, Nanaha. Thank you.
Sai is just going to shrug a shoulder. Like I said, I'm not going to stop her from coming with. I just think we might be walking into a trap. But she's very good at holding her own. So...
Well, then, is there anything else we want to do in the village before we go visit the creepy house on the hill?
Irina, you were saying something?
I was just going to say, it sounds like I'm going to be coming then. I'll keep a low profile.
Maybe disguise yourself? That could be fun.
Yes, HPG?
Perhaps, but that is going to take a while. If we want to go while there is still daylight, we should probably head out soon.
Then let's head out.
So that's Nikolai again?
No. Just call me whatever you want. I'm not getting disguised. That just takes too long.
All right, let's head out.
One moment.
Ooh, the anticip. Oh,
A ringing bell reverberates through the valley, or through the town as you head up. The road from the village winds and twists, climbing above the mist to the wide ledge on which the abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and the rocky earth. The gravel road passes between two small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot-high, 3-foot thick wall of jumbled stones head together with mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Its two wings are joined by a 15-foot-high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the rooftop of the closer north wing, which also sports a chimney billowing gray smoke.
Axel, you are our local holy person. Would you care to announce our presence?
Of course. And Axel kind of clears his throat out. We seek the abbot of Saint Markovia to speak with him. May we enter?
You proclaim yourself loudly, and you hear eventually, Otto, go find out what's going on. Fine, Otto, do it. Hello, who approached the great and powerful Otto?
My name is Axel Sillison. My companions and I have come to speak with the abbot.
What business do you have with the abbot?
We need his aid.
You look like you trying to become only holy man in Barovia. Otto not trust you. Otto think you try to kill abbot.
We have no desire to cause injury to anyone here. We merely seek to talk.
Otto let you in one condition.
Which
Go on.
is...
You must give honest critique on Otto screenplay. Otto writing story about brave, powerful hero who fights evil vampires and ends up marrying princess.
I would love to.
Otto has big shot at theater production. But Siegfried over there think Otto not the bestest, but Otto know Otto the bestest.
Sure. A couple of my companions are very well read. They'd be more than welcome to look over that and give critique.
Did you just volunteer me to read?
I turn to Verity and say very quietly, "It's the best play you've ever read. Just go with it."
She kind of looks back at him. I mean, she's a tiefling, so her eyes are just like ghostly silver white, and she has no pupils, but if she did, they would be rolling.
Hey, adventurer. Otto is an idiot. Doors are unlocked. You can come in. Otto still is going to pester you, though. Just leave me alone. I'm going back to nap.
I kind of like this guy.
Otto heard you, Siegfried. Otto knows more than Siegfried. Otto only was testing adventurers. You, come in gate. It is open.
I really like this guy.
Well, Axel goes to open the gate.
With a loud creak, the gate is opened. You are greeted by a short, squat individual who looks almost like a beardless dwarf. But the strangest part is that there are patches of donkey fur covering his face and body. One of his ears is human, the other is that of a wolf, with a protruding snout and fangs. His arms and hands are human, but his legs and feet are almost cat-like in nature. He is wearing a plain wool cloak, and he is standing there holding a thick leather-bound tome. Alright, you promise Otto give you screenplay. You must read, give good critique. Otto know if you are only placating Otto.
Oh, let me read it. Let me read it.
Okay. You know, it's not the worst thing you've ever read. It is very much a sort of grandiose sort of story where, you know, the hero Octavius is like this perfect, handsome individual. And like it's definitely a Gary Stu sort of situation. You know, you've. It's not the worst thing.
Is it
you know,
quite obvious that he's making himself out to be the hero who marries a beautiful woman?
Yes.
Got it. All right, go on.
What cat person think? Give Otto truth. Otto can take it.
First of all, this is incredible. Okay, this part where Otto has to go on this grand adventure to save the princess, where does he get the inspiration? Is it just because he wants to save the princess? Was he how's he gonna fight? How's he gonna learn to fight? What's going on?
Ah, Otto can tell you are literary mastermind. You see, great hero, learn fighting from within soul. It is that drive to make dream reality that allow glorious savior Otto Octavius to make it to princess and defeat evil vampire. Otto like you already, cat person. You wish to direct Otto play?
Me? That's it. But where would we find someone so absolutely perfect as to play Otto?
In the basement.
Wait. You could play Otto.
Otto going to suggest your grumpy friend. Because basement is where Otto keep play supplies and stage. But Otto could play Otto. No one know Otto character better than Otto.
Where would we find someone
he kind of
nearly
laughs.
as handsome?
He laughs, and his what's so really disconcerting is his laugh sounds like the braying of a donkey.
Weirdly, because it's animal related, Pocket's not concerned.
All right, rest of friend of cat person can come in. Come in. Otto, shut gate when you leave.
Coming in.
Roz, I see you exploring the graveyard.
Raz just got so frustrated with the statement that after his snark got ignored, he just kind of stomped through the thing and just started walking around.
Roz, as you're walking around in your frustration, You see several stunted pine trees growing out of the rocky earth in the graveyard near the foundation of the southern wing. The windows of the structure are cracked panes of leaded glass. The ancient gravestones burst from a thin crust of snow in the yard. Beneath the low wall that surrounds the graveyard, the ground falls away, and you see the village lying several hundred feet below. The view is very breathtaking, actually.
Is the windows at eye level for us? Can
You
see
do
in
have.
where we can see.
You'd have to look up, and you can't really see through the glass as it's kind of like it's leaded, and there are a variety of stained glass panes.
Okay, because where I positioned, I can see tokens inside, and I didn't know if I could see them or not.
You shouldn't be able to,
Okay,
but alas,
I can ignore them.
Otto turns. All right, now that Otto has been given proper criticism, what you all want now?
We're here to see the abbot.
All right, you all follow. And he points to Axel. Even ugly friend can come too. Come on. You guys all make your way up to a 15-foot high curtain wall joining the abbey's two wings. Behind the battlements, two guards stand at attention, their features obscured by fog. Below them, set into the wall, is a pair of 10-foot tall wooden doors, reinforced with bands of steel. To the right of these doors, mounted on the wall, is a tarnished copper plaque. The copper plaque reads, "May her light cure all illness."
Her,
Whoa.
huh? Morning, lady?
Interesting.
Otto, may I ask a question?
You may.
Who is this abbey dedicated to? We're visitors. I'm trying to learn.
Abbey is dedicated to... Wait, it's on tip of Otto tongue. Saint Mork and Mindy.
I see. Thank you.
You are welcome. Otto let you in entrance. Building you just passed where Abbott hangs out. Ignore rest of Otto family. They not as smart or charming or handsome as Otto. They may scare you. Do not worry. Otto will protect.
How brave of you.
Thank you, Otto.
You are welcome. Otto protect new friend of cat person, blue lady, sad lady, the one with horn, grumpy guy, the ugly one, and that one standing in the back.
Am I
Wait,
sad
is
lady or the
Axel-
one with horn?
I was like, I think Axel's the ugly one, and I want to say you're the one with the horn. So Nanaha's the sad lady.
Yes. Otto think it pretty obvious naming convention.
Pretty obvious. You're actually
Thank you,
really
cat
handsome,
person.
Axel.
Verity reaches up and kind of like touches one of the sides of her horns, like a little self-consciously, kind of like,
Saya spent most of her life being the blue lady, so...
The doors are heavy, but Otto manages to start pushing them open and unlocking that to everyone to allow you all in. Feel free to head in at your leisure.
Verity turns to Irina and she's like, well, I guess we'd better go. One in the back. Come on.
All right.
And the other one.
All right, one with horns. This is... I would say this is the strangest thing ever, but I live here, meaning Barovia, so I guess it's just another day. All right. Otto have to get back to very important job of guarding. You all find Abbott. No funny business. Otto not want to revoke all of your membership to Otto Fan Club.
You'll find I don't do funny business.
He actually does a lot of funny business. He's really funny.
He can be vice president of Otto Fan Club. Cat person, you are president.
Yes.
Okay, don't die. And then he walks off.
Thank you, Otto.
Do I really look that sad?
In comparison to when you had, crazy light fists, yeah.
No, I think you look fine.
Just blinking at everything.
The Fraulein on the forehead really suits you.
There's an old woman on her forehead?
Could we have a little focus, please?
You're right, Verity. I'm sorry.
A thick fog fills the courtyard, starting to swirl as if it's eager to escape. The courtyard itself is surrounded by a 15-foot-high wall. You see several guards with their backs to you, or so it seemed at first. It is pretty clear now that these guards are merely armor stuffed with straw. Wooden doors to the north, or to the south and to the east, lead to the abbey's two wings. In the center of the courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch, to which a rope and a bucket are attached. Along the perimeter, tucked under the overhanging wall, are several stone sheds, with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts pounded into rocky earth have iron rings bolted into them, and chained to them is a short, squat humanoid, with bat wings and spider mandibles for where its face should be.
Is it alive?
As you all approach, it turns to you and just screams.
Totally covering my ears.
I can see why Otto said, do not mind family not as friendly.
Okay, which direction are we going?
Did he say?
I think he said the abbot stays in one of the wings. So to the south, I think.
The one that you passed, or the building that you passed coming in.
All right, maybe we should avoid screaming person and go down.
Yeah, Verity looks real happy to get away from the person in chains.
There is cackling on the other side as you leave, kind of an insipid sort of giggling. A variety of animal-like noises bellow. There's some laughter, some crying, some screaming. You hear the sound of scratching at doors.
Are you guys going to be okay with leaving that thing tied up? You have a thing about people in chains.
I think this one's tied up because they may cause harm to others. I don't know if it's punishment.
Let's leave him for the time being until we know what's going on here. Something is wrong.
Raz will open the door and head in then.
You open the door to a large square room. There's gentle music trickling down from above, played on a single-stringed instrument by someone unseen. The ground floor is large. The windows are arched and leaded. A cauldron sits on an iron rack above a fire in the hearth, where above the fireplace a golden disc engraved with the symbol of a sun is hung. In one corner, a wooden staircase climbs up to the upper level, while in another corner, a stone staircase descends into darkness. Several chairs surround a wooden table that stretches nearby the length of the room. Wooden dishware and gold candelabras are neatly arranged on the table. On the other side of this large dining table, you see a young woman with alabaster skin, dressed in a torn and red soiled gown. Her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as to not touch her soft shoulders. She seems to be lost in her thoughts. Next to her, you see a handsome young man in brown monk's robes, gently taking her by the hand. A painted wooden holy symbol that depicts the sun hangs from a chain around his neck. He moves with the grace of a saint. Ah, our visitors have arrived. Vasilka, my dear, I must leave you for now to tend to them. I would recommend you work on your lessons for the day. You may come in, friends. Welcome.
So creepy.
So Axel will greet him with the sun symbol with his hands, and take a little bow and thank you for taking this time to see us. And I'm sure you have a very busy schedule.
It is no trouble at all, my child. I see you brandish the symbol of the new lord. You do not see that much in these valleys. I take it you are from beyond the valley, then?
Yes. Well, with the exception of the one in the back, all of us are.
She kind of waves uncomfortably. I am the abbot. I can tell that you arrive here with importance. So, might I ask for you to reveal your plight upon me?
So Axel's going to kind of turn to Irina and sort of give a look of sorry we didn't say anything sooner. A few days ago, we had an encounter with some werewolves on the countryside, with the exception of Pocket, the tabaxi. All 5 of us have been cursed. And we were looking for a way to remove it. We were told that you could help.
Yes, that is within my purview, child. However, I must ask for something in return, if it is possible.
What would that be?
As I am only capable of banishing such curses 3 times per day, I will need 3 of you to volunteer, with the remaining keeping the curse until the next following day. However, I do require payment. As you can see, and he motions to the young woman who's sitting kind of just seemingly out of it and thinking about something. I have my young charge, Vasilka, here, and it is her destiny to marry the one known as Strahd. As such, she cannot do so in such a state, and I will require a proper wedding dress for her to meet her destiny. If you can procure me a proper wedding garment, I will be able to take care of your afflictions.
Kind of looking at the group a little confused, and then turning back. I'm sure we can find a dress somewhere. Do you have measurements that we need it to fit, or is there a design you're looking for?
I am looking for a gown in the purest of white. It is one of well make. You will not find such a garment in this village, unfortunately. I have searched and have had no luck.
Do you have any suggestions as to where we should look?
You may perhaps find them with the Vistani traders, or perhaps the city of Valakai. They may have dressmakers there that could assist you.
It all comes back around to Valakai.
Will you be able to remove the curse and then we can go get it? It would probably make bartering better if we're not covered in fleas.
As I said, I can cure 3 of you with my abilities. The remaining will be cured upon receipt of the dress.
So which 3 of you is being cured?
Verity, of course.
I am. She speaks up, like immediately.
I can wait until we return with the dress.
Saya and Verity were the 2 that were most pressed upon for such things.
Can I ask for spot number 3?
Any objection,
Fine
Raz?
with me. No, ladies first.
Why, thank you.
It'll be better than the smell of wet dog later, Raz.
Besides, being a dog for a while gives me a bit of time to, and he kind of pokes Pocket in the back of the neck.
Then it shall be done. The man gracefully approaches as if he was almost gliding along the floor. He reaches out to touch Nanaha, as she is the closest, and a soft golden light emanates from his palm. And he touches your forehead. You feel the holy energy entering your body.
As this is going on, is the person on the other side of the room like just watching and listening to us?
She seems to be.
Okay. Keep my eye on that person.
And Nanaha, you feel the holy energy burning into you. And the bite marks seem to have healed over, and the blackish, like, discoloration has gone.
That feels much better.
Come. The others, I may tend to your condition now. Once again, his hand glows with a golden light. Verity, he touches your forehead. And you can almost hear a screaming in the back of your head as the dark energies that surge through you conflict with this.
Yes, I
However,
imagine it'd be very unpleasant.
it is very unpleasant, but at the same time, there is a comfort to it as the curse is lifted. He does the same, touching Saya on the forehead. His hand glows, and there is a warm, calming sensation as as the blackened energy around your body diminishes.
Delightful.
Now, is there any other business you wish to discuss with me while you are here? I am willing to make time for you, my children.
Unfortunately, time is one of the things we do not have if we wish to get this curse removed by the next full moon. And she kind of whips around, looking a lot more like herself, like a lot more focused, a lot more calm. She says, we should check with Esmeralda first before we attempt to return to... Oh my god, I forgot what it's called.
Valakai.
Thank you, Valakai.
All right. You are welcome back to the Abbey, then.
Do we get the measurements for the lady over there so we know what kind of dress will fit her?
Yes, one moment. And the abbot gracefully walks over to the woman who stands up. You all notice that there's a very strange, almost jerkiness to her motions. All right, Vasilka. Please stand still while I take your measurements for these kind adventurers.
Is she like turbo pale, or is she like white skin, like, you know, a corpse white?
She is turbo pale.
I don't know, maybe she's related to Roz.
Roz is more like an ashen gray.
Yeah, Roz is more ashen,
True.
where she is like
I would
she is like albino person who never saw the sun.
Oh, albino. Okay, all right, that's fine.
No, go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
I would say I would like to roll a perception check to see if, like, to see if I can see any Frankenstein-like stitching on her.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Guys, it's above a 10! I did it finally!
17 sessions, and he finally rolls over a 10.
Good job, Pocket. Or Pounce. Oh my god, it's going the other way now, too.
Now it's happening.
You do notice, as he is taking a measurement of her shoulders, you do see you see like a weird line where the color of her skin doesn't match below it. So like the face is like this very pale alabaster, but the skin around her neckline is darker.
Well, she will tuck that away for discussion when they're not in the belly of the beast, so to speak.
Eventually the abbot walks over, hands the note to you all. Now, I understand the urgency of your mission. If you decide to come back tomorrow without the dress, I will still consider healing you. However, I will require a second favor as payment. This is up to you.
Pretty sure we can't get to Balaki and back before tomorrow.
Then, if you are to return in the morning, I will cleanse the remaining two but I will require an additional task, of which I will ponder in the evening.
Let's work on one payment at a time. I think Axel and myself can hold on to our afflictions while we work on getting this dress first.
All right.
Curious to hear what else you need done, though.
There are many things that must be done to prepare young Vasilka for her destiny.
What favor
The
would you
dress
have us
is
do?
but one.
Pocket, let's worry about paying the gift, paying back the favor we've already received. There's like a hard sharpness to her tone with him.
Ignoring Saya completely, the abbot looks at Pocket. Unfortunately, dear Vasilka's knowledge of the finer points of dance are lacking. If you could procure some sort of tome regarding dance techniques, it would be greatly appreciated. And I would make sure that you are compensated appropriately.
We can keep an eye out while we're about, see if there's any dancing tomes. I don't think that would be a problem.
No problem. We'll keep an eye out. I can't promise anything because I'm pretty sure I'm the only person in this land who can dance.
Hey, I can dance too, you know.
Well, you are pretty dexterous, so yeah, you could probably dance.
And I can dance if I want to.
Yeah, but you'd leave your friends behind.
Well, his friends don't dance.
And if they don't dance?
Then there are no friends of mine.
Oh dear gods, need I remind you that two of us are still inflicted with lycanthropy and time is wasting.
There was only 2 minutes.
Before you leave, I have one more question for your group. You have been awfully quiet, young Kolyanovich. What say you on the state of affairs? Irina looks very, nervous. What do you mean? You are currently marked as being the one who Strahd desires. Is this something you personally chose? No, not at all. I do not want anything to do with him. I just want to be... I see. Then our mission is aligned. If Vasilka here is successful, his attention will no longer be on you, and thus it would benefit me if you are able to tell me what factors that you possess he is so attracted to.
Well, since you've referenced they both have auburn hair, it seems you've got the hair color right at least.
That is good.
One thing that I've learned about humans is that they're always attracted to what they can't have. So perhaps if she plays hard to get, he'll be a little bit more attracted to her.
That is good. Vasilka, we will have to work that into your instructions. The woman just nods. If you have time, I would like to consult with you later, Irina Kolyanovich. Or Irina Kolyana. I would like to know more as to so I can make sure that Vasilka is best prepared. All right. Can we please get going? This guy is really creeping me out.
Yeah, I'd like to get going. Thank you again. We'll be back with the dress.
Thank you for your time. Now, please make sure that the Bellevues mind their manners when you depart. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Father. And
Thanks for curing my friends.
Sai is going to plant herself on one side of Irina, and it's like, clearly she's not going to be left alone at the back.
Oh, hell no.
As you leave, you can hear just the faint bits of, "And now this is the salad fork, my dear."
Well, at least he doesn't want to give her to Strahd, so that's good.
As soon as the door shuts behind her, we are not leaving you alone with that man.
Oh,
I'm
hell
not
no.
staying in the Abbey.
We should wait until we're out of the Abbey to talk.
Yeah, Saya just hisses, out of the Abbey first.
The flapping bat-like spider creature just screeches at you, and you hear cackling from some of the other sheds that line the
Raz
interior.
barks back.
Pat down, boy. Where's Irina?
Next to me.
Under you.
Okay. Got off.
So I think we're just heading straight out.
Probably.
Seems rude to explore someone else's home.
We're invited back later. I have no urge to explore.
Actually, it's only rude if they are home. If they're not home, well then, everything's free.
Must mind Pocket's sticky fingers.
As you arrive in one of the guard towers, you see a squat individual wearing a thick cloak. She seems female. The left side of her face and body are covered with lizard scales. One of her eyes is that of a cat, with her finger and hands resembling cat paws with opposable thumbs. She seems to be scrutinizing you as you leave. You hear loud snoring coming from the other guard tower.
I'll wave to the pseudo-cat person.
Yes, go. We will make sure you're allowed back in.
Thank you. Hard to make a delivery if we can't.
Is Irina coming with us? Where did she go?
Otto plan on killing the dragon. Otto have plus 97 great sword.
You get him, Otto.
Otto is the hero we all need.
I thought you were the hero, Pocket. You've given up that
Did you hear the great sword he has?
Well, make your way back down the winding road, heading up from the Abbey down back into Kresk. Starting to get a little later in the day at this point. The soft snow begins falling. You can see some of those plumes of smoke from the various cottages intensifying.
Nanaha's sticking out her tongue trying to catch snowflakes. She hasn't seen snow that isn't part of a spell before.
What would everyone
You
like
mean when
to
it
do?
snowed on us?
Yeah, I only know when Saya set it off, so I'm like, gentle? Gentle?
Raz kind of watched childish antic with a kind of a furrowed brow.
And because it's the first time Pocket's ever done anything truly medicinal or medical, you're gonna go check on the baby again. Kind of a wonder to behold.
You make your way back to that cottage, and you see through one of the very small windows. There's like a bearded man in there, and he's holding the small baby. You still don't hear any crying.
Just give a light nod.
A human man opens the door. Yes, can I help you? You're not one of the neighbors.
Sorry. You're big. Hi. I was the doctor, I guess, for helping deliver your baby. I just wanted to check.
Oh, yes. Dimira told me about you.
Just making sure everything's okay. Was checking to see if you guys needed anything.
No, we are good. Isn't that right, little Axel? The baby just kind of...
Wonderful. Okay. Just wanted to check on you guys, that's all.
All right. Take care, Dr. Tabaxi.
I'll bow. I don't know what doctors do. And then I'll run off back to the group.
What would the party like to do now?
I'm out chasing snowflakes because I'm just excited.
Esmeralda is probably our best bet for a quick dress if she has something in white, as a Vistani, but that woman is not right.
Ilyana mentioned that the manor that we passed belonged to textile merchants, right? That, I guess, could be a last resort, too.
And he did mention their names, I think? Told them to make sure they behave.
Well, the abbot mentioned the Bellevues.
Oh, I got the name wrong.
Yeah. You're not sure who the Bellevues are.
It's probably Otto's family, but...
Well, we can stop by the manor house on our way to Valaki to see if they have either the makings of a dress or a dress itself. Maybe we won't have to go all the way to the town that threw us out.
I have business with the lake there, so I am very much for going all the way back to Valaki.
We're gonna need to make ourselves welcome if we do head back.
Do you think Pocket and his other set of friends could do some scouting, looking in windows and whatnot to see if anyone has what we're looking for?
You want me to go look for a dress?
Well, I mean, if we can't get into the town, you and your winged friends certainly can.
Well, I'll take a look once we get closer.
It would be
I
a
can
bit of
check
a
with
journey.
Erwin.
Sorry.
No, sorry, I was just saying I could check with Erwin.
It also would be a bit of a flight at this hour.
Yeah, that's why I want to wait till we're already on our way there, and then I'll fly closer.
So just quick out of character, the full moon that we know is coming is the day after tomorrow, correct?
Correct.
Okay. If we... Well, if we're going to be heading back towards Valakai, at least once we get closer, we can maybe have a Pocket fly in and see if we can find a dress. But we should probably discuss what our plans are with Valakai at length before we go. And given that, I think Esmeralda might be an easier shot for the dress if we don't want to deal with the Strahd-aligned textile merchant.
Well...
Do we know that he works with Strahd?
I guess we don't actually know that. We just know that he used that name in conversation with the coffin maker.
Mathematically speaking, the textile merchant's mansion is closer and would have a higher probability of either having or being able to produce a dress that meets the abbot's specifications, but we would have to somehow ingrate ourselves with him. Oh, I guess suppose I could just pay for it.
With what?
We have money.
You think a dress that he wants, a perfect wedding gown, is going to be paid for with what we have?
I don't know how much a wedding dress costs. I never planned to wear one.
We could at least scout it out.
And we do still have the necklace that we could maybe barter as well.
That is not for sale. She like kind of reaches for it defensively
Verity,
under
it's
her
the
robe.
one that we found.
The
Not that one.
topaz one.
The platinum and topaz one.
A really
oh.
expensive one from the Death House.
The
Oh,
one they didn't want to
yeah,
change for
yes.
the horse.
Oh yes, of course. Yes, of course. She looks like real sheepish for a second.
Yes, no, not that necklace.
Don't worry, we're not going to trade anything anybody's wearing. That'd be awkward.
I just assumed we were going to trade blows and murder someone there to get a dress.
But then it would
Hopefully
be
not.
red.
What kind of a hero are you?
I hear people like the color red at weddings.
First off, Pocket, he asked for a white dress. And, secondly, I really would not like you to be murdering people.
I agree. I just assumed with the history of this group, that's what we were going to do.
We haven't murdered anyone, Pocket.
Pocket, Repeater. Self-defense.
I don't know if that guy's son was self-defense. We kind of broke open the lock and pulled him out of his hole and
he
murdered
ran out of
him.
his hole of his own free will.
I still
And
think
then
it
we
would have
threatened
been...
to kill a burgomaster in his own town.
Yeah, but that guy was an ass.
And he's not dead yet, so it's not murder until it happens.
That is part of what we probably need to talk about, though.
Honestly, I think he's bad for the town to begin with. I don't think he's treating his people well at all.
So perhaps we should be outside of any town walls before we discuss our plans for Valaki. How about in the morning we plan to either go visit Esmeralda or the textile merchants?
That would probably be wise. Do you want me to come with you, or should I...
Personally, I feel very
should I set up shop?
She's just gonna say, personally, I feel very uncomfortable with you being left anywhere near that abbot.
I would prefer if she was not left anywhere, yes, near that weird man and her strange amalgamation woman.
So I guess at this point, I will have to ask, are we just making Irina part of this group permanently? Because she's supposed to live here.
Well, that's a good question. Irina, you are technically our employer, as friendly as we may be. What are your ends here? Is this... The goal was to get you to Kresk. Do you wish to stay, or you're more than welcome to travel with us if you feel uncomfortable here?
Well, to be entirely honest, Valaki isn't really that safe right now with the burgomaster. This place has a creepy holy man, but the people in the village seem capable enough, and it was said that the abbot doesn't really venture out much. And I don't know, there's something telling me that this is where I'm supposed to be.
Will you agree to stay as far away from him if he comes to town as possible?
I have no intention of meeting with him.
Do we want to check out didn't they say there was a spare building or something that they could kind of turn into a makeshift
Oh yeah, the
place
shack.
for us?
There is a cottage. So right now you all have been offered to stay at the burgomaster's cottage, but there was a small cottage that was recently abandoned.
We could spend the rest of the night looking into that cottage and making sure it's as sound as it can be for protecting Irina.
If nothing else, Verity's good at mending.
And it would be a place where Irina herself would have control over who can enter or not.
Well, we should at least take the offer of dinner up tonight, since it was made and we helped with it. But yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, where we're sleeping is likely going to, if we sleep in with the burgomaster here, it's likely going to be in all their dead kids' beds because they had a bunch of them. They've all died. Some of them very recently. So don't talk about it. The wife got pretty tearful when it was brought up earlier. But they'd rather the kids be dead than helped by the abbot.
Well, your delivery is as tactful as always. That is useful information. Thank you.
You know,
I appreciate the heads up.
if they're not very fond of the abbot, maybe we should just crash in the. Axel would definitely not say crash. If they're not a fan of the abbot, perhaps we should just sleep in the cottage ourselves. I don't know if they'd have a problem with us not having a problem. I mean, I guess we have our own problems with him, but not enough to not go there.
They
It would
said
be
they
fine as long
wouldn't
as we don't
stop
harm
us.
the town.
Something just to note, Axel. When the abbot was healing the others, his power did genuinely seem holy in nature.
Okay. Very well. We should just be careful not to mention the nature of our visit then.
Understandable. They know that we came to see the abbot, and we did.
Well, then I guess, Irina, you can make your choice about whether you're coming or staying. That is entirely up to you at this point, since we welcome you if you're coming with us. But if you want to stay, then we can also call it job complete. We will head back to Esmeralda, and on the way we have to pass by that mansion. So I think we check there also, and then on our way back to Valakai.
That sounds good. Hey, I have a question while we're all here.
Yeah.
Do you all want to come with me to see that pond? I feel there's something telling me I should go there. Just a feeling.
Sure.
It does have some unique properties.
I mean, if you really want to go see a big thing of water, yeah, sure. I like water in, like, controllable amounts.
I don't see why not.
I don't think you do, Pocket.
The pond is in a
Yes.
controllable amount of water.
Plenty of controllable amounts of water.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Saya will laugh. Alright, let's go see the pond, Irina.
Alright. All of you make your way as the sun begins to set. The orangish glow actually reflecting off the pond as if the cloud cover wasn't there. You all see the water surface ripple. Irina takes a look at the pool's edge. I just wanted to thank you all for doing what you've done for me and my brother so far. You could have easily just handed us over and be done with it. But if anything, I'm at least glad to have the memories of all of our time together.
Hey, we can always come back and hang out. Doesn't have to be just memories.
That's true. She kind of gives a soft smile. As you all are sitting there, kind of near the shoreline, you see an image appearing in the blue waters. There is it almost looks like a reflection of a handsome young man. There's a bit of sadness in his eyes. You all hear, emanating from the pond, "Tatiana, it has been so long. Is that you?" She blinks. That wasn't just me, right? Did you
No,
all
I-
hear that?
Saya, the water's talking.
I
Fine,
told
is that
you
normal?
it had interesting properties. No, that's not normal.
Tatiana,
Controlling water's
Tatiana,
not
are
normally
you there? Tatiana, are you there? Irina looks at the water, blinks a few times. Sergey? Is that you, Sergey? And with that, we will end today's session.
She knows water people.
Because a person's like an image in the water.
Rouse was about to say, pretty sure Strahd's the only one who refers to her as Tatiana.
Yeah.
Did he refer to her as Tatiana? Well,
Yeah,
Yes,
he referred
he specifically asked Raz to bring Tatiana to the coffin maker.
did you relay that to us as that? Because I don't think I've ever
No.
heard him refer to her as Tatiana directly.
Nope. Which is why he was about to say, what I had just said. But game
Damn
is
it.
off.
Damn
So
it!
we're gonna have
Guess we get to that next week.
it.